This is a story about an old car and a stupid plan. Because the good ideas are usually the boring ones. Because hey, what could possibly go wrong?
Okay, my trip back to Germany starts right now, right here. Okay, interesting fact about this region, Koshagash, for example, and all these towns up here in the remote areas of Russia towards Mongolia. The people here identify as Altai people or as Kazakh people. And also the Altai people are very close to Kazakh, also the language is almost the same. So yeah, very, very strong Kazakh influence, or rather the Kazakh culture originates here in this region as far as I know, spreading later down into Kazakhstan. Where they live the nomad lifestyle. So yeah, it's not like this Russian cultural background here, but rather Kazakh cultural background up here in the mountains. Some clouds and some rain are accompanying my way home towards the west, or the beginning of my way home. Quite dramatic weather up here. Okay, I'm in Koshagash in a supermarket and it's pretty empty here. Well, there's a bit more active section here, but half of the shop is completely empty. Okay, good morning. Had a great camp here right at a small lake in Russia, in the Altai region. And I have some company. You don't quite see them behind the trees, but I'll show you the car in a moment, or right here. From Aufheim daheim. They are traveling from Germany, just came back from Mongolia, long trip. And it's good that I have again some victims that I can give some coffee to, because I love preparing coffee in the morning, so multiple people. Guys, I found the snow-covered mountains. Actually, I drove past them yesterday, but they were just hidden in clouds. But yeah, there they are, looking absolutely beautiful. Okay, spotted already yesterday when I drove here in the other direction, a spot that had a very promising view, and now I'll just go there and have a look at it. Small track leading up the hillside, and the mountain and the clouds are right behind it, which I didn't know yesterday, but that makes it even better. Cannot drive past that without having a look. This road would have been critical in Tajikistan on 4,000 meters. But here it's easy peasy. I can even accelerate on this very steep bit without any problems. Oh, damn, look at this view. I'm unfortunately not the only one, but I dare say it was totally worth it to drive up a small bit. Okay, this P256, this very famous road, is absolutely beautiful, but now I've ventured off this main road and I'm driving into a valley. I just left the town of Aktash, which is a settlement along the main road, and now I'm driving into a small valley that's supposed to be very beautiful. It got recommended to me by some guys a few days ago who don't live that far away from here, so I guess they know what's good. And good news is our friend Igor with his family, they're also there already. I think they're preparing lunch, also for me, if I understood his voice message right. So yeah, happy to see those guys again. The road is absolutely beautiful, much smaller, less traffic than on the P256. Yeah, definitely already now, only after I guess a kilometer or so, I think it was the right decision to take the small detour. It actually goes up pretty steep. I'm down to the second gear already, but the road itself is absolutely perfect once again, good tarmac, winding through the forest. That's also the ultimate test, because I'm currently a bit worried because I'm losing some antifreeze. Somehow the lid where I fill it in doesn't seem to be tight, but I have two lids and they both had the same problem. So I'm a bit worried that the system has too much pressure, which could lead back to a serious problem, because some exhaust gases are getting into the cooling system. So I'll definitely have to look at that in the next days, but for now I'm just having an eye on the issue. Of course, making sure that I have enough antifreeze in the system by all means, and a moment ago I stopped to make sure that there's no air in the system, but that was also fine. So I'm still trying to figure out what's going on there, but yeah, it's one of these moments where I'm a bit worried. I mean, I'm very far away from home. I'm basically on my eastmost point on this trip, and nothing may happen to Theodor here. I mean, of course, Novosibirsk, some bigger workshops are not too far away, but I just hope it'll be fine. And Theodor will bring me to my destination. I mean, he's been such a reliable partner. Even if something breaks, it's not a problem. I mean, it's a problem, but I won't be disappointed in him. I'm already so impressed by this car. You can see Russians, they do love their nature. Maybe they also have less travel destinations than they used to have. But it's pretty busy here. Okay, very busy. Too busy for my taste. Okay, did it again. There's a nice camp just a few meters down the river here. And I'm staying there again with Igor and his family. Nice guys. When I arrived, I was just in time to get some lunch, but there was also some rain. Давай.
Экстремальный, да, много точно.
Good guys. And yeah, now I'm just exploring a little bit the riverside. And it's absolutely beautiful here. This nice, quiet landscape. Absolutely nobody around. There's some trees, some squirrels, some birds. Hopefully not too many bears. And then this beautiful river behind me with really clear water. Okay guys, had a small swim in the river, small shower, well a bath, and we still bought some meat for shashlik, but now some kids came by who are fishing and say it's very dangerous here because of bears, and they're not recommending us to sleep here, so we'll fish with them now a bit and then decide what to do. These guys are real pros. Igor is such a nice guy. I mean, first he makes friends with me and spends his family holiday inviting me to do everything with them. And now he made friends with these local kids and they're fishing together. It's absolutely cute. Really nice guys here. Okay, we decided that we can sleep here even though there might be bears, but we think that the locals are trying to scare us off a bit because there are too many tourists here. That's our theory. And right now, shashlik is getting almost prepared. The fire is ready, we'll put it on later. And some local kids still are there. They got their scooter now driving around here. Very nice, friendly atmosphere. Of course, also our fridge is prepared already. That's our fridge, and you can see this green bag. And I mean, what is a nice shashlik without a beer? So let's get some beer. Ну,
Да,
смотри.
не видно.
Да, ты тоже, да.
Ваше здоровье.
Здоровье.
Будь здоров, Эммануэль. О, шашлык.
Здоров.
Шашлык,
Да,
шашлык.
шашлык важно.
Поснимай,
Да.
поснимай, да. Куриную только, конечно.
Спасибо.
Вот. Сейчас вот так. Ох, Вань. Ох, Вань.
Нормально.
Аккуратно. Надо сюда тоже поставить. Красота, да?
Домашний мангал.
Не, не домашний, это
Камни.
Походный.
Охотник.
Ой. Уголь сильный. Здесь обряды у вас какие-то проводят, да?
Okay guys, so this morning we woke up at this beautiful spot and picked up quite a lot of trash. And now we just had breakfast and we'll bring all this trash away. Actually, half of it got burned already. There were about 5 bags altogether. And now there are only 3 left, but that's quite a lot anyway. I'm heading down the mountains again, and the coolant situation is not good. I just checked after driving up a steep bit under full power, and a lot of antifreeze was coming out. Either there's too much pressure or the system is not holding pressure. Well, I really have to have a look at that because it doesn't look good. I have to admit, it does worry me. I'm basically on the furthest point from home, and I'm still in the mountains, so it's not like I'll find some specialized BMW workshop here. But I guess I'll stop at the next workshop because I want them to check if there's any CO2 in my antifreeze, which would say that something is really bad. If there's no CO2 in my antifreeze, it means that the engine didn't crack, that the sealing is fine inside the engine. I'm not sure what the English word is for that. Say Zylinderkopfdichtung in German. If there's CO2 in it, then the problem is bigger. I just really hope that, out of some reason, both of my caps are broken, which is kind of strange because why would both break at the same time? Because happens with both, because in here there's a valve, and depending on a certain amount of pressure they will open up so that the system won't explode. Okay, so standing at the mechanic's place, Naktash, not far away from where I slept, to have it checked because I don't like the situation. Okay, good news. Did a quick CO2 test on the coolant system, and there's no CO2 in it. But there's still, it's not clear why antifreeze is coming out. Good morning, guys. After a nice camp at the river, I'm heading straight towards Novosibirsk. It's about 7 hours ride altogether, and the weather is quite nice to me. It's slightly raining, not hot, and I have a mission because the tire I bought in Dushanbe, the second-hand summer tire, basically it's completely dead. And before I want to take too many risks, I will buy a tire, all tires in Novosibirsk if possible, but again, I have quite rare sizes. So it's a small challenge, but a friend from Ekaterinburg is helping me. And I'll see if I buy some honey as a souvenir for my friends. So I'm quite close to Novosibirsk, and I think I'll find a spot to sleep before Novosibirsk. But before that I need some water, so I drove off the main road and I turned into a small town. To find a shop and buy some water. And this is how this town looks like. Small town somewhere in Siberia. Speak English? English good, chill? No?
No. Сфоткать,
Давай, без проблем фотка, да. Давай, друзья. Телефон звонит. Есть другой телефон? Другой телефон у меня, я опоздал.
Нет, другого. Сейчас, у меня.
Да, есть.
Чуть-чуть, как по-английски?
Да, чуть-чуть английский.
Чуть-чуть, как?
A little bit. Very good. Здесь живешь? Да? Нормально здесь? Да? Да? Отлично. Давай.
Нет, давайте сначала нас вдвоем, а потом...
Хорошо.
Все.
Готов? Давай. Хорошо, и сейчас.
Давай.
Все.
Хорошо. Thank you.
No problem. Пока. Супермаркет там, да? Магазин там, да? Да? Отлично. Okay, got some water in the shop behind me. And people are a bit surprised to see me. I think not very many foreigners here, I guess. Yeah, curious kids. Quite open actually here. Nice people. Well, the grown-ups are a bit grumpy and don't really understand that I maybe don't speak perfect Russian. But the kids, that's the future of the country. Well, that's what I call a beautiful, quiet, nice spot at the lake. And now I'm heading towards Novosibirsk. Novosibirsk is the third largest city in Russia, after Moscow and St. Petersburg. So yeah, it's a large city, and that's the place where I'll get some new tires for the back, because at least one tire, the one that I bought in Dushanbe for 30 euros, second-hand, is dying. On the outside I've got hardly any thread anymore, and it's getting a bit dangerous. Plus it's super old anyway, so I should have changed it. So I guess I'll change both rear tires. Yeah, so that's the plan. Have a small look at the city and then continue still driving a few hours afterwards towards west. But first, let's go to Novosibirsk. As soon as you leave the highways or the big main roads, normally they're like big country roads, you end up on roads that are a bit like stereotypical Soviet roads, going through the beautiful Siberian forests. Many birches around. Must be really cold in winter here. I mean, talking about really cold, look at these garages here. They all have chimneys. Because I guess in winter the cars get also heated, at least if the owners want to start them the next day. That's not what you see every day, garages with chimneys. Only in Siberia, close to Novosibirsk. Well, or anywhere in Siberia, also further northward gets even colder than here. But that kind of shows us, yeah, where we actually are. Right now in summer everything looks relaxed and nice. But in winter, this is a completely different world. I'm for 5 days in Russia so far, and let's talk a bit about the people's reactions to a German car, especially in the current times. How was it so far? How were the people? Well, first of all, after you come from Central Asia, from Kazakhstan for example, people are more reserved here, definitely. In Central Asia, constantly people will approach you, give thumbs up, ask where you're from. Very, very curious people over there, and here people are more reserved. I guess it's a mentality thing, just generally. So I don't get very many thumbs up, I get a few, but in average I guess 1 or 2 a day. Also I guess 1 or 2 people a day in average ask me where I'm from. They're always very friendly. But Russians have, I guess, rather the tendency to stay for themselves. So many of them, they just accept that I'm there, but they won't give me a lot of attention. And that's exactly how they would treat any other person camping next to them. So yesterday at the lake, for example, I didn't get into contact with anybody except one super drunk guy asking for a cigarette. Yeah, but I felt like they were treating me basically how they would treat one of their fellow Russians camping there. Like everybody was there, relaxing, having a good time, but not necessarily having small talk with his neighbor. That's, I guess, rather a Western thing than a Russian thing. If you don't know each other, you normally also don't talk that much to each other. Yeah, but generally, I have to say, I feel good here. I don't feel like people are being hostile towards me. I guess Russians just are not very political people. Yeah, and in Altai I met this wonderful family. I mean, once you break the ice, which I guess is also not hard, if you just approach them, it'll be easy. So that's my first impression. I will of course monitor this along the way, because many people are asking me how is it to be in Russia currently, with good reasons, but I have the feeling that our impression or what we expect is far away from the reality, because somehow there are two parallel realities, the stuff happening in the world and then how it ends up just if you're here. Entering Novosibirsk, one can directly notice it's a big city, a lot of traffic. Already driving through the outskirts for quite a while, and I'm still quite far away from the center. But for now I'm also not heading to the center. I'm still driving towards it, but I'll make a turn and look for some tires. I mean, a good friend from Yekaterinburg found some tires in a dealership, some new ones. But they're about 60 euros for one tire, and it's some Chinese tires, so, well, not the best ones. And now I still found a place that sells used tires from Japan, so I'll just go there and see if I'm lucky and they have the correct size, used ones, maybe better brand than the Chinese ones. Save some money, get, well, definitely not a worse tire than a cheap Chinese one new. So let's see. But I've got this good option of the Chinese tires that I can always get in case I don't find anything else. In Russia it's also a bit a money thing, because I have a budget. I cannot get any money on the ATM. So I've got cash, I've got some emergency cash for like repairs and stuff, but I tried to touch it as little as possible because, yeah, I cannot get any more. That's a bit of a problem with sanctions. If all my cards suddenly don't work anymore. Yeah, you can see a lot of stuff is getting built, many new houses. Novosibirsk is like the capital of Siberia. Novosibirsk means basically New Siberia, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and okay, I got to the used tire place, but it looks very closed. I knocked, nothing happened. So the search goes on. Okay, second address also was no success. So now I'm going to the second place. At the second address, nothing happened there. Guy was there, said nope, they don't have any tires, they're only mounting them. So it was ChatGPT's idea to come here, and ChatGPT doesn't know everything. That's a fact. Okay, that's the last option before we buy some new Chinese tires. Let's hope we'll be more lucky here. Здравствуйте. У вас есть этот размер? Одно или два? Okay, this big sign was a bit misleading. There's actually not a lot there. Just to give you one more tip, I'll go there. If that doesn't work, I'll buy Chinese tires. These Chinese tires, huh? They really want to be bought, I have a feeling, and I'm really trying to avoid them. I guess actually they're also not that bad. They're definitely better than my ancient tire at the back that has no thread anymore. Okay, I give up. I'm heading straight to the place that sells new tires, the Chinese ones, because the size is really rare and nobody has them. I asked them 5 different places and they all looked a bit surprised. And I said, nope, we don't unfortunately have this very rare size, so off we go. So, slightly confusing. The Chinese tires also don't want me. Went to the shop, first there was a small confusion saying, yeah, we only sell 4. And then they realized, nope, they're gone already. So, yeah, the hunt goes on. But that's nothing that'll stop us. I mean, so far, one tire is missing some thread, but if I don't do crazy shit and especially drive carefully when it's wet, I should be absolutely fine. Leaving Novosibirsk, and there's a beautiful dramatic light here. And right now I'm heading straight towards Omsk. Novosibirsk was absolutely not successful in terms of tires. Even the shop that was supposed to have them ended up not having them. So I looked at about 7 shops and didn't get any tires in the end. I also didn't get the lid for my radiator, but actually since yesterday it's quite fine with the radiator situation again, so who cares? I'm happy to be back on the open road, to have left the city and to be driving this old beast of a car or a friend, of a good companion, Theodor.